someone in your life smiled when you told them your good news, but something happened before the smile. Something small, a flicker, a hesitation. Maybe their eyes went somewhere for half a second before the rest of their face caught up. And you saw it. You didn't say anything. You filed it away. And then you felt guilty for noticing. Here is what that flicker was, and why some people who care about you, people who call themselves your friends, cannot fully enjoy your success. Not because they are evil, not because they are broken, but because of something ancient, biological, and almost impossible to escape without understanding it first. Let's start with a word, Schadenfreude. It's a German word with no direct English translation. It means the pleasure you feel at someone else's misfortune. Most people know that word, but there is another German word that almost nobody talks about. Glücksschmerz. It means the pain you feel at someone else's good fortune. There is no English word for it either. But there should be, because the feeling is universal. And pretending it doesn't exist is why so many relationships quietly fall apart. To understand why this happens, you have to go back. Not decades, millions of years. Early humans lived in small groups, 30, 50, maybe 100 people at most. In that world, resources were fixed. There was only so much food, only so much shelter, only so many high-status mates, only so many positions of influence in the group. In a world like that, your status was not just about comfort. It was survival. If someone else rose in the group, it often meant you fell. If someone else had more, there was less for you. This wasn't selfishness. It was arithmetic. The brain that tracked the success of others, that noticed when someone was climbing, was the brain that stayed alert to shifting power. That brain survived. That brain is yours. Researchers at Leiden University studied brain scans of people watching others succeed. What they found was uncomfortable. When a person watched a peer, someone at the same level as them, achieve something significant, a region of the brain associated with pain activated, not metaphorical pain. The same neural circuits that fire when you burn your hand, when you stub your toe, when something physically hurts you. Someone else's success was registering, at a neurological level, as damage. But that's only part of the finding. The more similar the person was to the subject, same age, same field, same background, the stronger the pain response. Not strangers, not celebrities, people like you, your colleagues, your friends, the people whose lives run parallel to yours. This is why it almost never comes from someone who has nothing in common with you. The person who wants you to fail is not watching from a distance. They are standing right next to you, on the same track, measuring the same distance. A billionaire's success does not threaten you. Your colleague getting the promotion you wanted does. Your friend publishing the book you always said you'd write does. Your peer building the life you imagined for yourself does. The closer the mirror, the harder it is to look at. The psychologist Leon Festinger called this social comparison theory. In 1954, he proposed that humans have a fundamental drive to evaluate themselves, not against abstract standards, but against other people. Specifically, against people who are similar to them. We do not measure ourselves against the mountain. We measure ourselves against the person standing next to us on the hill. And when that person starts climbing faster, something in us registers it as a problem. Not consciously, not deliberately. The body responds before the mind has a chance to reason. The smile comes, but the flicker comes first. Now here is the part that most people miss. The person experiencing this is suffering too. Glücksschmerz is not a comfortable feeling to have. Nobody wants to feel pain at a friend's good news. Nobody chooses to sit with that flicker of darkness when someone they love succeeds. It is involuntary. And it is followed almost immediately by shame, which gets buried, which comes out sideways, as a lukewarm response, as a subtle undermining comment dressed as concern, as enthusiasm that fades too quickly, as support that somehow always comes with a small qualification. They are not doing this consciously. They are managing something they cannot fully name. There is a particular kind of person for whom this becomes a pattern, not just a passing flicker, but a way of moving through relationships. Researchers who study what's called malicious envy, as opposed to benign envy, have identified a consistent difference between the two. Benign envy says, I want what you have, and I'm going to work harder. Malicious envy says, I want what you have, and I want you not to have it. The person driven by malicious envy does not ask what they can do to improve their situation. They ask what they can do to reduce yours. Not always dramatically, not always consciously. Sometimes it is nothing more than withholding enthusiasm, not showing up, finding reasons why your success was luck, reminding you of your failures at moments when you should be celebrating your wins. Small things, quiet things, things that leave you feeling slightly flattened after every interaction without being able to say exactly why. The research suggests this pattern intensifies under two conditions. The first is stagnation. When someone feels stuck in their own life, the success of others becomes harder to absorb because it is not just a reminder of what they don't have. It is evidence that it was possible, that people like them can make it happen, which makes their own inaction feel inexcusable. The second condition is proximity of ambition. When two people want the same thing, one person's success does not just inspire the other, it threatens them. Because it narrows the available space, it makes the dream feel more finite, more competitive, more zero-sum, even when it isn't. Here is what makes this complicated. The person experiencing this is not your enemy. They may genuinely love you. They may be the first person to show up when something goes wrong. They may have been there for you in ways that matter. But they are also struggling with something they have never been given language for, something your culture doesn't talk about, something that has no English word. They don't know how to hold both things at once, caring about you and resenting your progress, being proud of you and being quietly wounded by you at the same time. So they don't hold both things. They push one down, and it comes out as the flicker. Some people resolve this. They develop what psychologists call compersion, a word borrowed from certain communities that has started appearing in psychological literature. It means genuine pleasure at the happiness of another. The opposite of schadenfreude, the opposite of Glückschmerz, the capacity to feel the warmth of someone else's win as if it were your own. People who develop this are not saints. They are people who have done the work of separating their self-worth from the scorecard, who have decided that someone else climbing the mountain does not make the mountain smaller, who have understood, at a level that goes beyond intellectual agreement, that this is not a competition, that there is no fixed pool of good things, that your success does not subtract from theirs. That realization does not come automatically. It has to be built. So what do you do with the people in your life who haven't built it yet? You stop measuring their love by their reaction to your good news, because those are two different things. A person can love you and still feel the flicker. A person can be rooting for you and still flinch when you win. That flinch is not about you. It is about the gap between where they are and where they want to be. You just happen to be the mirror. You can also stop sharing everything with everyone. Not out of secrecy, out of discernment. Not every win needs an audience. Not every dream needs to be announced before it becomes real. The people who celebrate you consistently, without qualification, without the flicker, those are rare. Protect the things that matter from the rooms where they won't be safe. For millions of years, your brain kept you alive by watching what other people had, by registering their rise as a potential threat, by comparing and measuring and tracking. That instinct served your ancestors. It is not serving you. The flicker in someone else's eyes is ancient hardware running in a modern world. So is the part of you that sometimes feels it too. Neither of you chose it, but both of you get to decide what to do with it. If this made you think about someone specific, that's not a coincidence. Subscribe if you want to keep going deeper into the strange, uncomfortable, and fascinating mechanics of human behavior. New video every week. I'll see you in the next one.